If you ask me, I think Kenyans are at a boiling point with the political class. And there is a dangerous enmity that is brewing between the Kenyan people and the political class. So, why am I saying this? Of course, yesterday the news of sudden death of Beatrice Elachi's son Elvis Murakana was all over social media platforms. I first saw that MCA Robert Alai shared it on his X platform. That is the first person I saw sharing this tragic news, and then later I saw politicians coming out, of course, sending condolences messages and all that. I saw from William Ruto, the ODM party, from other female politicians, the likes of Gladys Wanga, and the rest. Now, I thought that it is going to end there, but I don't know where we are as a country, but this is just shocking. And I don't know if we will have to sit down. I don't know how soon this will happen, but the political class must realize that the public, the Kenyans have detached themselves from them now. The young people took to social media to remind Beatrice Elachi of the reckless statement she has been making. The first blunder Beatrice Elachi made was last year during the public participation for the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, there was that public participation that happened at KICC, and it was, of course, chaotic. It was then when Morara Kebaso was hit by chairs, and it was just chaotic. And remember when Morara Kebaso was being hit by chairs, there is that voice from the background of a woman saying, Piga Hua. It was later revealed that it was Beatrice Elachi. Of course, generally, there are things that we don't expect from women generally. Of course, there is a way that the society is expect women to behave and to conduct themselves. Beatrice Elachi cannot watch goons throwing chairs at Morara Kebaso. Beatrice Elachi, being a woman, being a mother, and all she could do is to cheer it up and shouting recklessly. That was so low from Beatrice Elachi, if you ask me. And as if that is not enough, Beatrice Elachi, when the young people were calling out to this government over the abductions, over the enforced disappearances, and over the killing of the young people, Beatrice Elachi came out and said that whoever feels that Kenya ni mbaya should go to another country. I mean, what was that? What was that Beatrice Elachi, the kind of message that Beatrice Elachi was trying to send? And now the Kenyans are using these two scenarios to mock. The Kenyans are using these two scenarios to tell Beatrice Elachi that you're asking the young people to leave the country. Now they are mocking the death of his son, that it is your son who has left this country. This is so low. As much as we want to condemn this, as much as it is not a good thing, of course, I'm not supporting this, but it's good to show that we are at a boiling point as a country. We are at a moment that something must be done. Something must be done as soon as possible, because in the next few months, in the next few years, we might lose this country just like that. It is not Africanism to celebrate one's death. No matter the situation, no matter the kind of enmity. Of course, inakuanga that, okay, this is my enemy. I don't go get along with this person. But when it comes to any tragedy, whether it is a death, accident, and all that, we normally forget that and come together. Unasaidiana. Then after that tragedy is over, whether it was sickness or a death, burial imefanyika and something like that, you can go back to your normal way of living. Like if you are my enemy, tukishamaliza everything, we go back to who we were. So here, the young people are not even showing that. The young people are not telling the political class that we are not going to pretend that we are going to show you empathy. We are not going to pretend that we just want to be with you. No, you are very insensitive. You are very careless, you are very reckless, and you don't care about us. And this time around, we are going to celebrate your tragedies. So I was going through the social media and it was all over. Like you could think that Kenyans are celebrating something big is happening in this country, but where it is Kenyans celebrating the death of Beatrice Elachi's son. So it is this moment that the politicians, you see, even it is not that it is just a one person scenario. Recently, we've seen that these politicians have been complaining that wanawekwa kwa casket, and that is not a good thing, it's not a good sign, because Kenyans are so tired with them. These young people are so tired with them, to a point that they are wishing, they are praying for their death. Others are saying that when are you you see, when kunakuwa na report that sijui president wa wapi amekufa and something like that, and Kenyans would go and make a joke saying that the prayers of our country is being answered in another country, something like that. So we must come to realization, we must accept the fact that Kenyans are no longer pretending that the unity that the president keeps on talking about, it is not there. It is existing on paper. This is the reality. The political class and the common man are on different path. They are on a totally different path. And this is not a good sign. This is not a good thing. Of course, we were there in 2007 when our country was almost when our country was burning, and this is a scenario that we are praying that it should never happen in our country. But if the current state of our nation is something to go by, I'll not be surprised if we experience something like that again. And it will be really, really sad, because everybody is watching this happening. Everybody is watching this brewing up. And nobody wants to take that first step to ensure that everything is being brought back to normality. Nobody wants to care. The politicians are now busy about to do the 2027 elections. They are talking about the 2027 election. You are an elected leader. You failed to do your mandate. You failed to do the basic, like ensuring you have a functioning health system, education system, security. You failed to achieve that, to put that into place as an elected leader, but you are here talking about the 2027 elections. So these politicians don't even care. They care about how they're going to get that seat again, and how the cycle is going to go on and go on and go on. But the president must just need to do something. He is the as much as maybe we are not agreeing with his ways of doing a thing, his ways of leadership, but when it comes to matter that seems to endanger the security and the peace of this country, we will have to support him if he's doing something to ensure that that is not happening. So for President William Ruto, don't ignore the enmity that is brewing between the political class and Kenyans. As a leader of this country, you are the one who must put everything into place. You politicians must take a step back and ensure that this thing is not going on. Because if you failed to address this, I am telling you that we are getting to a place, we are getting ourselves in a place where we might not manage to get out. So for politicians, you must understand that the Kenyans are so tired with you. So even as you make those the reckless statement, think before you even talk. Think. Of course, we know that I don't know. But for a leader, for public leader, you must expect people to criticize you. Why would somebody like Beatrice Elachi don't want Kenya to criticize this government? I don't even understand. Why is Beatrice Elachi so pissed off if Kenyans are telling the president to stop abductions? Why is she so mad about it? Why is she making so reckless statement about it? So these politicians, I'm sure that if the family of Beatrice Elachi are going through the social media platforms, I think that it is adding more pain to themselves. And I think that this is just might, this tragedy might just bring a positive change that we want to see, because I think that the politicians now will realize that it is not a joke. When these people put them in casket, is not a joke. They mean it, and they pray for their end. Politicians, this is a message. Take this moment. Take a step back and reflect. We don't want to lose this country, of course, but for politicians, you are the one who has made Kenyans to be these insensitive. This has been brought by you. You cannot you cannot make a insensitive statement when somebody is crying about the loss of their loved ones and all that. And Yani, I don't know where we are heading as a country and where these female politicians, we thought that we are taking you there to at least act differently. We thought that by having female politicians occupying those seats that you are going to act differently and show that indeed the community or a community is built by women. But that is not the case. You're just behaving worse than male counterparts. And this is something that I don't know if you'll have to sit down and think about it. I don't know. I don't know if it is the money. I don't know if it is the corrupt money. I don't know. But for Beatrice Elachi, that was so reckless from you. And I think that I don't know if you'll have to apologize to the public, because I have never seen people celebrating another man's tragedy. And especially here we are talking about death. This is the first time I'm seeing people mocking somebody because he or she has lost a family member. I have never seen this, but it is just a message that these young people of this nation are sending to this political class. So I hope that we are going to see a different thing, and that this political class we realize that they are losing it, and that something has to be done, and it should be done as soon as possible. That is it for me for now. Thanks for watching. This is Sophia Live.